A very good evening to all of the listeners, audience here. I welcome everyone on behalf of Wiki. We represent Wiki, that is Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries, which is a not for profit organization. We are an independent body that collaborates with private and government institutes and organizations to promote and empower women professionals and entrepreneurs throughout the country. The Uttar Pradesh HR State Council of Wiki endeavors to put in place the policies and processes which might help working women and women entrepreneurs to sustain, promote themselves, and facilitate themselves in terms of their career as well as their awareness. I am Sri Rupa, and I am a council member of Wiki UPHR team, and today, along with me, I welcome Shuchi Srivastav to our second chat session. And today, along with her, we are happy to discuss a very relevant topic about flexi working hours. So, is it really that flexible, or in reality, very far fetched? Shuchi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sri Rupa. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Team Vicky.
Yes, and let me introduce Shuchi to the entire audience. Shuchi has 9+ years of experience in managing various HR functions in manufacturing, retail, IT, and consulting services. She is currently the HR specialist working with Harman in Bangalore, where she is taking care of talent management as well as diversity and inclusion portfolio globally. Prior to Harman, Shuchi worked with Infosys Limited in Bangalore, where she was an HR business partner working in collaboration with the L&D, that's learning and development, as well as the D&I teams. So, as per Shuchi, what she says, her passion at work is to look out for innovative ways as a HR professional to optimize effort and make learning fun. Welcome, Shuchi, once again to this team and to the live session today.
Thank you, Sri Rupa. That was a very kind welcome from your side.
Okay, great. So now I think must have slowly started joining. I can see few. So let us start this session today. Let us discuss about flexible working hours. It is how what a myth, whether it's a myth or a reality, and how far achievable it is in the Indian context, specifically keeping in mind women professionals. So my first question today, Shushi, to you is, in the recent times, with work from home and flexible working hours becoming the way of work, I mean, everyone is talking about it. So do you feel that the boundaries of professional and personal life are getting blurred, specifically for Indian women? And why I'm saying this is that even today, by and large, in our country, women are still considered to be the caregivers, to be the home ministers in their family. So when you talk of flexi working hours as well as work from home, how do we differentiate? How do we keep that boundary in terms of our professional demand and household demands?
Sure. Thank you for the question, Sri Rupa. So, we are now in the 6 months of working virtually, which none of us were actually prepared for, especially in an Indian context, as you rightly mentioned, where women are primary caretakers of their family, managing their personal and their professional lives under a single roof has definitely taken a toll. Organizations nowadays need to be a little more cognizant of setting the right work culture, especially in a virtual scenario. For example, respecting lunch hours, avoiding off hour meetings, mutual discussion on what suits the women and her manager are at most primed to be aligned. When this line goes blur, this is when we fail to understand and respect each other's working habits. Supposedly, I might like to start early, so then I will also want to end my day early. But
True.
if I'm a late starter, I might stretch a little and accommodate other countries and global timings that I'm working around. So those working habits need to be respected, especially for a woman who is juggling work, family, kids, household chores together. Um, in a time scenario when there was a physical office space available, women were actually able to spend those 8-10 hours away from their family, from their kids, in a physical environment, go around it and see how things were moving off. But
Very true.
in a virtual scenario, even with household and help, with the tag of being the primary caretakers, managing work from home is a challenge. But I guess organizations are now being cognizant enough, putting up guidelines on how the virtual workforce has to be managed, because talent is utmost important for all of us to keep in mind, given the current scenario. Yes, the lines can get blurred, but yes, from both sides we have to understand how can we respect and understand each other's working habits and accommodate accordingly.
Okay, okay. Yes, because I think keeping a timeline the way we used to work in office, or might be in school, if you see the timetable that we have a start time and an end time, having fixed time for office where we'll not let our work, our household things interfere our work. At the same time, we need to ensure that our work doesn't get stressed beyond the time that it is required, because we need to balance both. Agree.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, but I have one more question that, if you talk, when we keep on talking of flexible working hours or some other, benefits for women workforce. So, what exactly do you think should be the measures or maybe the changes in the HR policies required, which would facilitate the flexible working hours for women workforce? And when I say this, it is keeping in mind Indian context, because we know there are many multinationals who work in real multinational sense, but most of the multinational companies, if you talk of that India business, the mindset, the perception is very different. So, what measures or changes in HR policies, the key measures, changes in HR policies that we might have to relook at when we are talking of a flexible working hours?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, see, few organizations already have a flexi working culture for a while now, but the current situation where we have been working virtually for few months now, it has opened up new avenues, and it's giving light to new working models that organizations can facilitate for this women workforce, especially in an Indian context. For example, flexibility to work from home for women employees returning post maternity. That has been a constant challenge, specifically for say banking clients, where data privacy is on height. So working from home in a demanding client role was not much preferred pre-COVID, but now the things are changing. In the coming time, mixed models, that is both work from anywhere and work from office, where accounting of the work would be on productivity rather than hours clocked in. That will be one of the major change into HR policies, where we want to facilitate the whole working hour for the women workforce will come into play. Apart from that, hygiene policies supporting the home office setup, that could be viable for a work from home kind of a setup is very very important. Because if I am as a woman working from home for a very long one day in a week, when I'm not feeling like going to office, I'm not well, I can still sit on my bed and keep working. These are very minute and small things, but when we are working in a longer period of time, say for months, it will not be suitable for me taking up physically. I need to have a setup, and that facilitation has to come from the organization side as well. Basic hygiene policies of a office home setup is something that will come into play. Apart from that, measuring productivity rather than clocked hours is something, in the forthcoming period, that we see
True,
will be important from an HR policy standpoint.
true. I think going forward, we need to go more for a task-based performance measures rather than time-based,
Absolutely,
because
absolutely.
it is ultimately based on the task, and maybe timesheets might help. Sometimes many IT companies, many consulting firms adopts that. So timesheet might be one of the ways, or other changes in terms of HR policies might be, in terms of, because I see many companies like IBM, I see Cognizant, I see Dell, where it is majorly based on your the project work and the deliverables as per time. It is not based on
Absolutely,
whether you are working from home or you are working from office.
absolutely.
So that is also there. Flexi working hours. True.
Right.
So, I agree. But then, if we are talking of so much of flexi working hours for women and all. But on the other hand, we also see that there is a lot of, noise about equality in pay, equality in promotions, equality in recognition at workplace. So perhaps this is one point which is very close to my heart to discuss. I generally keep on discussing with my HR colleagues that we realize that there has to be a flexibility, particularly to the women workforce, because they manage home also, or rather they themselves think, apart from the society, that they are the main ones responsible in the house so that nothing goes wrong, be it kids, be it family, be it
Right.
parents, in-laws. So they take it on to themselves, so they are okay to juggle both. But when it comes to pay, when it comes to equality in pay, we have,
Right.
recently concepts like equality in pay, promotions, recognition at workplace. Uh, do you feel that this should also be, somewhere balanced? I mean, how, as a company or as an employer, how do we strike a balance between the genders? Because tomorrow, the male working force will also say that if we put in so much in office every day, then we are supposed to get the pie of the cake in terms of anything. So how, or rather, do you think, I mean, from your experience, are women ready to let go of the equal pie, or do you think that they are not ready to let go at the equal pie? So how do you see an employer or a company balancing this in terms of flexible working hours, work from home, or any other benefit meted out to the female workforce in terms of other benefits which are linked, like pay and this thing, promotions and all?
Absolutely. I think that's a very valid question given the topic we are on. So I'll start a little out of an Indian context from the World Economic Forum. So every year World Economic Forum conducts this huge seminars and webinars around, and companies participate. And pay parity has been something on top of their agenda every year. In fact, they publish out a list where they call out how many years will it take for us to bridge the gender pay parity gap, and
Mhm.
which are the countries on what standards and where do we. And to be honest, for India it will take a really long time, because the countries who are doing really really great are still at least 167 years to go at this pace. So I think organizations supporting have started supporting the flexi work, thanks to COVID-19, especially for women employees. They're also seen to be working towards rooting out any kind of conscious and unconscious biases in the work culture, because that is something will ultimately take those kind of decisions on how the pay will move around, how the recognitions will move around, how the kind of benefits will move around. So the concept of diversity and inclusion, which is really close to me and is my bread and butter as well, uh, and why it is important for all businesses. So 5 years, 10 years down the line, it was just a termed coined word, but right
Yeah.
now we see business leaders understanding the importance of it. There is a fight for talent in the market, and everyone wants to stay ahead of the curve. And organizations are moving in a direction so they can strike a balance between the genders in terms of benefits, pay, recognitions at workplace. I'll give examples like starting from hiring policies and practices wherein offers are made basis of the talent, not basis of the gender. Internal rewards and recognition policies on maintaining pay parity also adds to this balance. If we do not do that, then the pyramid of the role ratios that the organizations maintain going forward, it will be skewed. The gap will keep increasing, and in a way you will start losing talent. And I don't think we can move into a world where with a single gender you can run the economy of any organization or a country or the world. Hence, organization are starting to understand that diversity is taking a lot of weight into it, and as well as inclusion. um, And organizations are trying to tie all this together with the new working flexible working models that we already spoke, that can be
True.
mixed model where you can come to the office as and when needed, you can work
Yes.
from anywhere as and when needed. So that gap can be tackled at the initial stage itself. Since 6 months of virtual working mostly for all of us has been there, and might be there for a couple of months given the upcoming government guidelines on the lockdown. So organizations are looking to tie all these things together at the very initial stage itself. So as we move ahead, so understanding how the virtual working life will work, balancing it out, calling out on recognitions. So we can formulate out a basic guideline for managers, for business leaders, to understand how do you keep your employees engaged enough, how do you recognize them, how do you give those benefits around when the internal rewards and recognition formulation happens, when the hiring process happens, how does we influence over there. And honestly, uh, earlier, at least 5 7 years 10 years back, DNI was like a different department together, but today
Yeah,
it
it
is
was
into the
more of
DNA.
a
Right. Today we are adding into the DNA of of everywhere, all the departments of the HR. And on recognition, organizations are doing a part, where I see a lot of digital and social media platforms for recognitions that are mostly used. Say LinkedIn. Okay, so there are ways you can just go tap and recognize anybody who is in your network as part of your team using all those. But for women, there is a, since we are talking more on women, I have a small advice to give, that we women have a role to play into this. One advice for all women is to practice self branding, please do, which is very very important to build up recognition for the work we do, especially in a virtual scenario where literally how we are managing our work, nobody can see that.
true.
Sitting 10 hours in an office, that can create perceptions, but when in a virtual environment, nobody can see what you're doing, and you have
Very
to
true.
call it out. Self branding is really important, and do not shy in doing that. It is your due credit that you must take. So, and when we shy out, maybe our employer might feel okay, fine, ठीक है चलता है, kind of an attitude. We need to break that glass for ourselves also. We need to get into that comfortable zone for ourselves, push ourselves, where we do our own self branding, talk about what have we been doing. So I think organizations are doing their part, but we women also can do our a little bit of a part.
True, Suchi. I relate to you in terms of branding because yes, a very valid point. When we are in office, we are visible, but
Right.
out of office, the remote workplace, people are not able to see us.
Right.
So one is to let your team or your manager know that this is what you have been doing, because at the end, there is a saying that if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. That is also the second part.
Absolutely.
So we need to keep the our measures in terms of timelines, in terms of what we are doing, what are the deliverables and how we have achieved them. And we also need to put it across to our managers so that physically working together or physically not being present at the same time in the same place is not looked upon as a hindrance. So that
Absolutely.
is also very important. I see, in fact, many IT companies who are following this. But
Right.
when we talk of, if we come to non-IT, especially certain functions industries like manufacturing, a very classic example is manufacturing industry, where the workforce is required at factories, or where there are client sites where I was a part of a previous organization where it was mostly into consulting. So in consulting, most of our line functions, the billable resources, uh, they were posted at client sites. So if they are posted at client side, even if you are regardless of you being a male or a female, if the requirement is that you need to be present at client side, then there is no option. So
Absolutely.
in these cases, I think we can have something like, as you said some time back, that these policies should be optional. That is what I feel, that optional given to the women employees, that whether to opt. There are many women employees who might not want to opt for that, because
Right.
working alone, you are, after all, we are a social animal. You get cut out from the team.
Absolutely.
So there are many women employees who might not want to work, opt for this, but people who want to opt, as rightly said, in hiring policies, my companies might think of devising a strategy where where the pay, performance, everything is attached, attached to the measurement and productivity, regardless of wherever we are working from.
Sure.
And also, I think, keeping in mind the non-IT, because in IT still work from home or remote working, flexi hours is still prevalent, but in
Right.
non-IT sector, I think we really need to look at it, be it the employer or the HR professionals. We need to look at how to design HR policies which can make uh, working hours or timings or time zone flexible to the extent possible without affecting the productivity. Because I have seen, contrary to popular opinion, I have seen there are cases where women employees who work from home have been more productive than spending those hours in office, where you go out with teams and over a cup of coffee or over a break, where
Right.
so you are at times more productive when you know that you have a start time and the end time to your work, because after work you have other responsibilities also.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
So yeah, tell me.
So see, in my opinion, I feel, the work life balance for working employees in the past has been a little far fetched. uh, Being the home ministers, it has been their whole sole responsibility to manage families and their jobs. But the world is changing, and so gradually is the organization culture. Parenthood is now looked upon as a shared responsibility by the
True,
new nuclear family generations.
true.
Okay, since culturally, the life of a man and a woman are different, from moving into husband's house to childbearing to child rearing. Hence the facilitation also to support women's career by organizations should be different. That is my opinion. That, okay, you cannot compare. Like, I have seen couple of pictorial representations where there is a escalator for a man to climb, or there is a running path for a man to run, but in a running path of women there are a lot of hurdles coming through. So facilitation for all those pointers, be it family care, be it child care, be it managing their careers, those kind of facilitation is what will bring work life balance, in even in manufacturing and in other sections. um, the one good step by the government has been the revised maternity amendment act that came out, which
Mhm.
has helped bring facilitations from, say, maternity leaves up to 6 months. Childcare
Yes.
facilities have been mandated, with distances, frequency, how many times a mother can go and visit. This all factors have added to the work life balance for these working mothers, even in a factory scenario. So my initial career started with factories, and honestly to say, when I first saw the working conditions, I was a little sad and shocked, that how can this happen. And I kind of grew up in a home where, um, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know how to put this, but there was no differentiation. So my parents were, I came from a very small town, but they never differentiated that, okay, you are a girl, you can't do this, or you're a boy, you can't do this. So I think it's very, very culture based. Since nobody ever told me that you can't do this, for me, I was like, okay, then that means I can do everything. That is how I interpret it.
True.
And coming from that kind of background, where literally you have no mode of transportation till date, and it's been 30 years, we have lived in the place. So coming from that point, I could see that, okay, maybe that is a societal restriction that comes around bringing the work life balance. It is not just about teaching. It starts from family is something I believe, and organizations later as you move ahead in life. So it's not just about teaching your girls how to do or how not to do. It's about teaching your boys as well, how because end in the world, you will end up going working with other women, studying with other women. So how do you create those kind of balances? And on the section of policies, so in manufacturing sectors, or I have been into consulting, so the kind of organization structure I helped put was to bring inclusion from both points, because if we are saying parenthood is a shared responsibility. So I'll give a example of Ruth Beda's latest interview, where she was called into her school, into a child's school, to because of some reason. She said the principal that, this child has two parents, right? So every time, instead of calling me, please call the other parent also sometime. So I think that's a fantastic example to go around by. And those kind of facilitations for a new mother, maternity engagement programs, those support functions when the women is going through the whole period of a maternity journey, when she's trying to get married and has to move into a different location, so relocation policies, those kind of support systems, not just into IT, it should be across all industries and functions. And those kind of facilitation, when it comes, when organizations give that to their talent, that is when you earn the loyalty of it. And to all the women listening, okay, one of my managers said this to me, and it kind of got stuck with me. I am saying it to you: maternity period is in a 30 years of your career. Okay, 2 years of maternity is like a drop in the ocean. Please enjoy that time. 2 years of maternity will not take away 30 years of your career.
True.
Somebody who recognizes your talent will see to it. I have examples of women leaders who have taken 10, 13 years of break and have come to an achieving position. So it is different from every woman to every woman. When you are marrying, when you are having a child, when you have to manage your family, when you have to juggle, it is totally different for everybody, right? So enjoy the time. It's like a drop. Don't feel bad or guilty about it. If And I think organizations are moving into the direction where facilitation for all these things, from a learning point to making, having more leaders on the top, women leaders on the top, having more tech women leaders on the top. I think there is a strive for it. There is a work in progress. Probably in some years we will see some good progress in terms of numbers and everything. So coming from a DNI background, I can tell you that most organizations I have worked with, or howsoever we move around, there is attraction that happens, and there is attraction kept into the place. And eventually we are seeing results around it. So that is how I think the modern nuclear families also are looking around. So for me, I have a very clear opinion that, okay, boss, I am working, you're working, so it is like both have to manage the place. In a virtual scenario, there have been days when I am not very of a homely person, to say, in the Indian context, but I have learned things to do. So it's a shared responsibility, and same thing comes when you're in a working place, be it a manufacturing companies, where negotiate your shifts. What kind of shifts work for you? Go around by that. Make use of the maternity amendment act and the facilitation provided by your employer, as and when you return to workplace. When you're marrying and moving, look for the relocation policies. Your organizations are based into more places. Utilize your network. Build your network, do self branding, and utilize that. With that, eventually you will come to a point where those scales will balance out, and probably make every working women's life easier. And we do encourage that. It's not no more a homely situation, but yes, follow your dreams and passions. Whatever drives you, go chase it.
True. I think you have put across the perspective in a real sense in terms of today's women workforce, or might be men also in general, because there are many men also who believe the same. So,
Right.
uh, if I am to, I think we are very close to, we are 1 minute short of 7:30, our closing time. So, before that, if I need to just summarize from the employer perspective, company's perspective, I think COVID has indirectly been a boon in the way where people saw the other side of the coin, where working can happen remotely. Number one. Number two is it's more to do with the perception and the mindset. So if productivity comes, employers or companies should encourage flexible working hours or remote working for women employees. And this is one. And as far as women employees go, as you rightly called out, the first thing is please plan. You have a family to take care of, you also have your career. If you have spent your time and your parents' money to educate yourself, please do not let it go waste. Number one, plan. Number two, schedule a day, share the schedule with your team and your managers. Four, prove with deliverables measured and documented. Fifth,
Absolutely.
fifth, please demand your right in terms of be it recognition or promotion if you have delivered as per your requirements and as per your KRAs. And finally, be visible in the marketplace. Today, through social media, through remote working, online visibility need not be physical presence always. So
Absolutely.
it definitely can be remotely or working at different time zones, different time frames as per your suitability, as long as your work is delivered in the right way and within the timeline, it should be good enough for you. You would anyways have your career. You will not miss out on anything on your career.
Right.
So this is what we feel. This is what I understood from discussing with Shuchi today. Thank you for giving your time. I can see in the comment box few interesting statements. Yes, rightly said. Someone says rightly said. Flexi hours needed for both genders. If women are looking at the household, similarly men look at the entire need of the family in terms of might be financial. Appraisal should be measured by productivity. Yes,
Absolutely. Yes.
should be task based, not time based. It should be measured by productivity. We also, someone rightly says that yeah, this the same thing. Productivity should be the prime focus. So I think most of us believe mindsets are changing. Times have changed. We have been into challenging times this year, but there are few good things that have come out, and one
Yes.
of them is that remote working and flexible working hours, especially for women force or women who are wanting to come back to profession after a break, is definitely a wow, because there are many times where we have seen that efficiency and time management is something that women excel at. So let us judge and measure as per our efficiency, and let us, from the women point of view, let us be more organized, planned, structured, and visible.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again, Shuchi, for joining this show. Thank you, audience. I hope you could take at least one point from this show today. We tried our best to bring in our experiences. Shuchi spoke about her experiences. I also did the same. Due to lack of time, we kept it for 30 minutes. Please watch out this space. We will be coming with one topic or the other every Saturday, same time, 7 to 7:30. Thank you. Best of luck. Good wishes and have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Thank you, Shripa. Thank you, Wiki team, for having me here. Thank you, audiences. You have been really kind to us, and I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for having me. Please
Thank you.
stay safe.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye
Bye
everyone.
bye. Thank you.